In this video, we'll look at a few different options for managing more than one WordPress website from a single location. Using these proven free and inexpensive services, you can save yourself a lot of time making updates, monitoring your sites, and keeping up with security. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to make an educated choice about how and when to take advantage of website management services. When you do, you'll be monitoring all your websites closely without lifting a finger, and you'll be able to make widespread updates to WordPress core files, plugins, and themes all from one dashboard. Here at wpmudev.org, I've got a nice blog post that was released actually 3 days ago, according to the current date right now, and it's about choosing a WordPress management dashboard. They do a nice review and a guide of several of these management platforms or management services, giving them a rating and talking about exactly what each one does well and what each one could improve on. Most of these have a free level of service that you can use and see if you like it, plug in a few sites, and you can continue to use it for free as long as you like with most of these. And some of them have some premium add-ons that you might want to take advantage of eventually. I use ManageWP and their Orion service, which is right over here. This is their homepage. It's at managewp.com, and here's what it looks like once I sign in. My dashboard at ManageWP shows me all the sites that are managed by this one single service. And I've got a sample account here set up where I'll be showing you a few things in detail about some sites I have set up to be managed by ManageWP Orion. I'd encourage you to read this post at wpmudev.org, as well as do your own research on what the different companies offer and what you can get to start out with. This blog post has a great overview down here that talks about whether it's an external management or internal self-hosted option, which a few of these are, and about whether you're a developer or an agency. If you're going to have a lot of different websites that you manage, these three are probably the best for that. But I'd encourage you to do your own research and see what available options are out there. We've talked about WPMU Dev before as having a paid membership service which gives you access to lots of premium plugins. They have themes as well and a huge community of WordPress experts. I find it's real valuable for me to be a member, and one of the things they offer is this thing called the Hub and a tracking level through their management plugin of all the different websites that are signed up for their service and use the plugins. And so from here, inside of WPMU Dev, once I'm logged in, I can go to any website and I can look at some different things like what plugins that I have and need updating. I can have theme updates, security, performance, and uptime monitoring as well, and SEO as well as backups happening or not. I find that ManageWP overlaps a bit of the services that my hub at WPMU Dev offers, and so I just kind of take the best and what I like most from each of the services. Let's go through some of the features of my ManageWP Orion dashboard. I'm on the dashboard here where it shows me 3 different sites. Right down here I can open or close this filters list where if I had a whole lot of sites, I could look at them and look at which ones don't need an update, which ones have updates available, which ones have secure sockets layer available and enabled, etc. So under this Manage Plugins tab, you can see that I'm managing plugins for 2 websites, and it'll show me of all the plugins that ManageWP is tracking on all my websites, which ones are active on which websites. So I could select any of the plugins by checking boxes here, and then either activate, deactivate and delete, or even update plugins if it's necessary. So I'll just hit this back button to go back to the dashboard screen. Over here on the left-hand side, down here, I can hide those filters, and then up here, if you click Overview, you can see that this is an overview of all the sites tracked by ManageWP Orion. I've got a total of 6 plugins and 3 themes, and I could select all and update or click this Update All button on all of my websites all at once. It is a great time saver if you're sure about compatibility issues and it's a very small update. After I update, of course, I would go and check the websites to make sure everything's working right. So suppose I got a notification that a certain plugin was having a security issue and it was recommended that you update their plugin right away. If I was using that plugin on more than one site, which is pretty likely in my business, I would be able to check the box over here and just update that plugin on every one of my websites using ManageWP Orion. Now, how does this work? If I'm logged in at the WordPress dashboard at one of my websites, at skateboardcoach.com, if I go up here and look at the websites list, instead of this grid list, I could go over here and look at them in an unordered list here. The Skateboard Coach app is one of the websites that ManageWP is managing for me. And now over here, it does tell me that I have 2 plugins ready to be updated. Let's click the Updates button here. Now, how does ManageWP Orion know that there are 2 plugins available for an update inside of my Skateboard Coach app? I've downloaded the free ManageWP Worker plugin and activated it and connected it to my ManageWP account. This is all free to start out with, and all the services I'm outlining here are within their free version. So here it is, the ManageWP Worker. I have it activated. Over here at WordPress.org, I went over to the search under plugins and I typed ManageWP. Here it is here, the ManageWP Worker plugin. They keep it updated and it's compatible with the latest version of WordPress. It is just a great plugin that lets ManageWP go and log in as you and make changes on your behalf inside your WordPress websites. If you're managing multiple websites in your business, one of the great advantages is that you can log in to your WP admin or your WordPress dashboard directly from the ManageWP dashboard. That means you don't have to remember usernames and passwords or be forced to use the same username and password for all of your client site accounts. The ManageWP will remember all those usernames and passwords for you. If I just hit WP admin right here, that will log me directly into the skateboardcoach.com app, and I'm logged in as the administrator. It's actually a more secure way to log into your website dashboard because you don't even have to visit the WP login.php page and type in your username and password at all. So let's take a look at ManageWP in action very quickly. You can see that I have 2 plugin updates on my Skateboard Coach app website. It tells me that I'm using WordPress 4.6, which says there's no updates available for the WP or the WordPress core. And I do have 3 theme updates. Now, if I click these 2, I just select them there and click Update. This is my progress bar up here, and it should very quickly update those plugins for me. Now that it's finished, I can see it gives me that nice message, all the plugins are up to date. Let's go over to the WordPress dashboard at skateboardcoach.com and just refresh the page and take a look at what it tells us. Look at that. The plugins are all updated. There's no message here. The only thing I have are 3 themes that I need to update. Great. These 3 themes, again, as in the last video, instead of just going to them individually and deleting each theme, because I'm not using these, I'll go ahead and delete them out of my WordPress installation. I can do that a lot faster by going to ManageWP dashboard and going over to the themes page here. Now, if I check each of these themes, it'll allow me to update it right here. But if I go back to the themes page for this website that I'm managing, I can see that I have 1 active theme and 3 inactive themes. Here's where, if I want to, I can just check each of these themes and go down and delete all of them. WP Manage Orion will take care of that for me in one big group, and it just makes it faster and easier. Back in the WordPress dashboard for the Skateboard Coach app, you can see I've updated the WordPress updates page, and no more themes are there to update. I could just go to Appearance and Themes, and let's see what themes I have. Just the 1 current activated theme is in my WordPress installation. Now that everything's updated on that website, let's just go through a few more things that ManageWP Orion can do. It can manage your users, of which the Manage WP Worker plugin is one. And you can manage security, where you can run a security check on each of your websites whenever you want to. You can also manage performance and speed using their performance check right here. These four and the fifth, the backups feature, are all part of their premium add-ons. It has different pricing and it's really very inexpensive. If you go to their website and click the pricing page, all the things that are right here are free forever on an unlimited number of websites. But if you go down here, if you do per website or bundle them into over 25 websites, you can see that all these features are pretty affordable. The Manage WP service can do periodic backups and store them offsite separate from your server backups. It can monitor uptime and send you a text message or an email if one of your sites goes down. It can monitor SEO, provide a client report so that weekly or monthly you can give a traffic and security and speed and performance report to your client as a part of your website care and maintenance plan, which we'll be going over in future videos. And you can white label the service and the client reports so they don't know that you're using this service and it looks like it's just coming from your business. Another couple of tools are down here. Your own system info for each of your websites at the server. A maintenance mode where if you're doing some maintenance on the site behind the scenes and you want to hide that, you can do it and take care of it with Manage WP. And the history, of course, of all your activity here and a way to roll back. But a neat one is the code snippets area. We've looked at different ways to do code snippets, where if you need to add a piece of PHP code to the functions.php file, you should use a child theme or a code snippets plugin so that you're not altering the theme itself. But the interesting thing that you can do here is if you look at your websites and then select each of the websites that you have, you can add a code snippet to all of your websites at the same time. This can be really useful for adding a personal message from your business right on the WordPress dashboard for your client. It's a really powerful code snippets plugin. Plus, if you do something wrong and it breaks the site for any reason, you could always remove the code snippet here using your Manage WP service. In this lesson, I showed you what you can do to save time, increase security, and manage a group of websites easily using a WordPress website management service. This can really make your business and your client relationships better by providing an easy-to-administer value-added service for website care and maintenance plans you can sell to clients. You'll learn how to create recurring revenue for your business this way later in the chapter. In the next video, we'll go over the levels of security provided by different types of website hosting companies and how best to engage with them. I'll show you how to make sure you take advantage of all your hosting company provides and set your websites up to be as protected as possible from getting hacked or going down.